Black Friday, people are spending way more, but have way worse credit scores and have terrible debt. So, what's the takeaway for marketers? How can you exploit that, right? No, here's an optimistic interpretation. You only live once, right? Fear of missing out, YOLO, FOMO. Maybe as a marketer, how can you think about the experiences you can deliver where people really feel like they can't miss out,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, mine kinda ties into, Shopify and, like, the ads that they did that day where, they felt it was more important to put the limelight on their merchants and, like, what people could, buy that's unique and different. I think, more marketers need to think about how they can differentiate themselves from all the other stuff that's out there, in order to make your offering or your product more unique, in order to find your target customer. Because your target customer is not gonna blink an eye at having to, spend money to buy your product because they love it so much. So it's like, really honing in on that and, like, finding who wants to purchase your product, regardless of whether they can pay for it in 30 days or not.
Um, yeah, I can share 2 that came out of this conversation. One is, just find ways to make your customers market for you, like, really happy customers that are spotlighted, appreciated, valued will, really extend the shelf life of not only your marketing activations, but really extend the value of your brand for, a lot lower cost. So if you can get to a place where you're really striking organic reach, that's incredible. And then just think about the goals of your customer as they're interacting with your brand. I think that was the big takeaway for me with Target is if your customer is doing a lot of different things, your job is to figure out how to make them care at that moment in that time.
Another takeaway for me for the Stripe activation was thinking about where your company kind of stands in terms of the craft and like making things versus like AI. The companies that have been most interesting lately have been the ones that like have, defaulted to wanting to create things that are unique and like that are special, and that aren't being created by other companies, right? Apple creating the logo in glass and using prism to create, the lights makes people think about, Apple creating amazing content. Stripe, doing this, city, also brings into, light their Stripe press and that they care about art and creating like actual things, and those are the type of companies that you want to associate with. um and then the fact that, trust, dependent businesses like in fintech, healthcare and infrastructure, you got to start thinking about how to make things more human, like how to be more unique because, so many people are just bored with, normal ads and billboards and commercials on TV that like that's not really getting people's attention anymore. You need to think about how to place your, or, whatever you're creating or a new idea of like how it still kind of relates to what you're building, right? Because Stripe, it's not random that they created this city, right? It still very much has to, deal with their brand. But what are those types of things that you can use for your brands that like make sense in order to get more attention?
Absolutely. And I also think on top of being a marketing tool, it's a recruitment tool. Like
Hmm.
people want to work at brands that do these really cool things. And so that in itself is good ROI.
Yeah, definitely.